Hello, flower friends. This is Jen, and you're listening to the Floral Hustle podcast. On this week's episode, I really want to talk about a couple different things. The biggest thing that I want to talk about is I want to announce my next workshop. And this workshop is unlike any of the workshops that I've previously done. And this is going to be different than most workshops that are out there in the market. For one, it is a fraction of the price that most of these installation or in-person workshops is. It is 2 days, which my previous workshops had only been one. So I'm super excited to get more immersed, spend more time with you. And we are not only going to dig in, we're going to do like over 5 installations. We are going to do this. There's this amazing tree at this venue. It is going to be at Genesis Ranch, which is a newer venue here in Minnesota. It's about 17 miles from the MSP airport. And it is like, it's on a dirt road. It's in the country. It's so relaxing there. There's no animals there. So I don't know if you've ever been to a venue with animals on it, but it doesn't smell usually very great. So I'm kind of excited about that. It is so beautiful when you pull in, you're like on a dirt road. There's just trees around. And there's this beautiful pavilion there that we are going to decorate with Smilex. And so you're going to learn all my Smilex tricks. They have this beautiful fireplace. We're going to have a knockout head table. We are going to do a ceremony install. There is these stairs that go up to the ceremony location. They have an upper and a lower. And these stairs are just like super interesting. We're going to get a little bit of a workout going up and down them, but we're going to create on these little mini landings, these meadows that are just kind of exploding. So that's really fun. And then they also have this tree. And it is the most picture-perfect tree with a swing on it. So we are going to do a tree install. You get to get your hands on every one of these installations. We're also on day 1, you're going to make a bridal bouquet. You're going to make a centerpiece that will go for our head table. You are going to get immersed in like proposals, creating proposals that sell, having consultations that sell, really just diving into really having a business that's in alignment, because so often people have businesses and they're like not super excited about them because they're not doing things that are in alignment with them, or they're really tired and they feel like mom guilt and all these things because you haven't made this business that supports your lifestyle. I call it a life first business. So if you haven't had that kind of thought process, this is going to be your introduction. We are going to do EFT, which I am a certified life coach. I'm certified in EFT and other like modalities that are really just helping your brain get in alignment with everything else in your life. And so we're going to do some really fun, out of the box, relaxing. We're going to eat nutritious food. We're going to be like our healthiest version of ourselves, because when you're your healthiest version, you're your clearest version of yourself. And we're just going to like really immerse in just this energy of success, and you grabbing that energy and taking that into your business and kicking ass and taking names. Become the floral badass that you like know that's in there and just don't know how to get it cracked out. Then on top of it, my friend Alexandra Robin, who is an amazing photographer, she is going to teach you how to take photos. Like, she takes beautiful flower photos. Like, I'm saying beautiful. And she's going to teach you her tricks. Then she's going to be photographing. You get all the images from this workshop, and you get to use those images because you were part of creating those items. Then you get a mini branding shoot. So you're going to have images of you with your bridal bouquet, with your centerpiece, and you're going to be able to take those images and use those in your social as well. You can create behind the scenes content when you're at the workshop and use that content. This is like such an opportunity for you to grow your business, grow your content library, grow your brain when it comes to running a successful floral business. From someone that runs a $325,000 was last year for one of the businesses. And it is something that I just want you to be so successful. And so nothing is held back. And it has a nearby hotel if that's something that you need. I think there's a hotel that's 13 miles away in Eagan, Minnesota. All the details will be in the link in the show notes for you to check out. But I wanted to talk about having a coach. And this is something that I did not do for a long time in my business. I've done an episode similar to this before, but I went a long time in my business without taking one design class, without ever, like I always just figured it out on my own. And I think that was to my detriment because I stayed small for so long. I stayed small revenue-wise. I stayed small when it came to my designs. Like I was doing designs that just weren't fun, that weren't joyful, that weren't like giving. And I just was going through the hamster wheel of being like this production florist, which honestly just didn't feel very great. And with my first like big shift was one of my friends that freelances for me asked me if I would go to Flower Stock. And I went to Flower Stock, which is on Holly Chapel's farm, and Passion Flower Sue was there. And Julie Toby, this person who is kind of a fulfillment coach for creatives, was there. And there were also like this designer from Texas. I always screw up how to say her name, but, or not from Texas, from Mexico, sorry. Then there was just all these people that were just like so creatively charged. And of course, Holly was speaking. And I just saw all these people that just thought bigger and had these big dreams and big businesses that were just kicking ass and taking names. And I was just like, I had always been an achiever. I was dumbfounded going, why wasn't that me? Like, why wasn't I chasing my dreams? Why wasn't I thinking bigger? Why was I staying so small? And that was a big epiphany for me. Like I literally saw these people going to their gardens, like she grew flowers, majorly grew flowers, pulling flowers, to go design with. It was just like this experience that I just felt like so freaking inspired by. I actually, after that, joined Julie Toby. She had a mastermind for creatives, and I was going through this big identity shift. I had just left my corporate job, and I had my son, and I was just like, who am I? Like my identity had been so tied up in my corporate job, and I just felt like I didn't really have this like draw my line in the sand identity that was really who I was meant to be. And so I joined her group and did a lot of work on that. And I think that's when I stepped into like, I'm a fucking badass that deserves big things in my business. And I started making big shifts. I started saying no to things that felt lame. I started, trying to tweak things so that they felt creatively fulfilling. I started making sure that I was charging appropriately. And then it was just this progression of building this business that I have today, which is a life first business. Because I also want to make sure that I'm being the mother that I want to be. I'm also being the human that I want to be, like physically, mentally, in my relationships, in a lot of things. I mean, and a lot of shifts went through COVID because I think we all went through shifts in COVID because that was just crazy. And, I invite you to start that shift. If you are just like lost and you're like, I don't know what to do. Like now is your time to figure that out. It doesn't matter when it is. Like you can tomorrow, today, you can draw this line and be like, when I step over this line, I am the new me. Whatever that's going to mean, it changes today. And I want to be inspiring to myself. I want to be like in love with what I'm doing. I want to just everything. I want to just be bigger for you. And I know that's possible because that's happened for me and I know it can happen for you. Since then, every time I've invested, I have gained some knowledge. I have gotten I'm just going to say it, the lady balls to be a coach. I've gotten like the confidence to do so many bigger things in my business that I just never knew was possible. And like those same shifts are ready for you. Like they are there for the taking and you can do even one small thing. Like quit being the person who buys the courses and doesn't do them anymore. Stop. Stop being that version of yourself. Like start to think, how can I start to be the version of myself that gets, my brain growing, my soul growing, my whatever growing. How can I be that version of myself? And that's like what I strive for every day. And that's what I teach my children. Like, how can they be their best self? Like, how can they be happy? How can they have a life that is with no regret? How can they live a life that like they have solid relationships, solid friendships, solid everything? Like, that's part of my job, to teach them to be the most badass humans ever. And a lot of us are living our motherhood in reactivity to everything going on. And God, I got to bring the kids to camp. Like this week, Bodia swimming camp. This was because his original camp got canceled. Bella has Project Runway camp. My nanny, I don't have on Mondays. My nanny, I don't have this Thursday because my old nanny that's here one day a week, like she is in the Dominican Republic for her daughter's birthday. So very interesting to me. So like this week is weird. And then on top of that, I have some coaching calls. I have the mastermind. I just booked a last minute Somalian wedding for Sunday that I'm doing 6 giant urns and a 4-piece. Like all of these things. But you know what? I'm still going to CrossFit. I'm still going to actually on Tuesday, I'm hiring the coach who I look up to give me bigger overarching strategy. I'm hiring her for $1,000 to meet with her for 90 minutes because I find so much value in being around people who elevate my thinking, who think bigger, who have done bigger things in their life. So all of that, I think there's some more things too. Like I have to get the kids a haircut. I want to start getting my planner mailers out, like just all these things. So all of that is happening. And plus I'm getting ready for big wedding week the week after. I need to finish some of my silk flower arrangements. I need to launch that silk floral business. Like I just ordered the postcards today. I ordered the postcards for my redo on my my silk or my a la carte program. Like they're all, and plus this week I taught Farmer Florist Boot Camp with my friend Liz from Sunny Mary Meadow podcast on Monday and Tuesday. So like all of that transitioning. So like it can be a tornado and I'm still going to be the best version of myself. Like I stopped making excuses on why I couldn't do all these things. I've watched several hours of courses this week. I have weeded my garden. I have listened to probably like 3 hours of podcasts this week. And then actually I listened to podcasts on my drive too. So actually more. So like whatever the excuses are, if you need help trying to figure out like, how can I stop being this like constant excuse of why I'm not doing bigger things? Bigger things come with bigger things. You are going to make bigger money when you elevate yourself. Like it is just inevitable. And I start to approach, like, my success is inevitable. So many things are inevitable for me. And I don't question, well, I'm going to try really hard and see, like, this workshop coming up. I am going to sell out that workshop because, for one, I've sold out every one I've done because I add so much value. And this is going to be such an experience that you're going to want to be there. Like, I know, because I know I'm putting that much love and sweat and tears and energy and like, I know that this is going to make a huge difference in someone's life, that this is just not some fluffy workshop where I'm telling you, you're going to go and sell $100,000 in installations this year. I don't know that, because that depends on you. I'm going to give you the tools. I'm going to teach you how. I'm going to teach you how to simplify this. But if you go home and sit on your ass, like, that's not going to happen. I don't sit on my ass. I, of course, recharge, but I'm also taking care of myself to make sure that I am not, like, living in this tornado of, like, feeling like shit all the time, and that everything seems hard because, frankly, everything is. Like, I mean, even this past week, I had to bring my daughter to get her hormone shot. I've talked about this in the podcast before. And we have to get her one every 6 months because she's going through early puberty, and it helps kind of put the brakes on her going through full puberty at 9 years old. She's now just turned 10. And that's like not the funnest experience for me as a mother, because I'm like, we're here. This fucking sucks. Like, that we're going through this. And then on the other end of the scope, I brought my son in for his 5-year checkup, and he's like in the 3rd percentile and way behind. And they actually mentioned growth hormones to me, and I about lost my shit because I was just like, are you kidding me? Like, we're putting the brakes on one kid, 2 different dads. I can get that, but like, what are you talking about, people? Like, how could we have such polar opposite kids? And my dog had issues. We just found out my dog has acute glaucoma, and like, but nothing stops me. Nothing stops me from moving things forward. Nothing stops me from being the version of the person I want to be. Nothing stops me from, like, what I prioritize. And I teach you that. Like, you listen to this podcast, I have so many free resources that help teach you how to live this badass version of yourself. Like, it was so cute. My daughter, I bought her like some jogger pants at Old Navy, and because she's like growing like a weed. She's 5 feet tall at 10. And then I got her like, well, if you're watching this on YouTube, I got her a little zip up, and I got her a little sports tank that kind of went with the outfit set. And she's looking at herself in the mirror, and like, it was just this moment. She's like, Mom, I was like, that's such a cute outfit, Bella. It's totally something Mommy would wear. And she's like, not meaning to say a naughty word, but I really feel like a badass like Mommy. And like, I was like, well, we don't need to say that word. We can choose other words, of course. But like, that I can empower my daughter, who has like just a hard time in general with so many things, with having autism, going through what she's going through with early puberty. I mean, she's got boobs. I mean, like, it's crazy. And other stuff, it's just out of control. And I just was like, so many kids are just like beating themselves up for what they look like. And here's my daughter, like, because I teach her how to talk to herself in a positive way, that I am powerful, I am kind, I am beautiful, I am brave, I'm strong. All of these things are like conditioned into her. And like, that makes a difference. And you need to start doing that with yourself. Like, you are so brave in your business. You are so capable of doing big things. I believe in you. And I want to teach you how to believe in yourself. So check out in the show notes, the Installation Rockstar, or go to my Instagram and head to the highlights, or head to my link in bio. This is going to be epic. I have very limited spots, and I would love for you to be there. Come meet me in Minnesota, and let's hang out on a farm, like get our flower on, connect with ourselves and our business in a way that is going to start attracting serious money. So thank you so much for listening, flower friend, and you have an amazing flower-filled week.